The final understanding of the whole thing. First, I want to start off is back to the alien story, where the planets were not the planets. They're like these luminous spheres. Can't land on them. And the alien found out his hierarchy because he had a planet. He left the gravity of it in his ship, and he landed finally back to his planet. And he knew what a planet was because it started to change into a planet, into that dimension. Before it did, he escaped. So what we have is like a vast section of planets that almost infinite to us. The thing is, like, they weren't really planets initially, so therefore no existence is possible. Then getting back to a point about, more of a personal point about survival for me, it looks like it's very hard for me to get a job and keep one. I know why now. It goes to something like this, that in the Bible there's the Garden of Eden, and women a lot are in that, in the Old Testament or before the Old Testament, and it looks like later on the garden between their legs becomes a problem. I mean, that they're more precious to men than anything. And then you can't be favored by the Bible. Common people can't be favored or understood by the Bible too much. It's about people, but it's about God and Jesus. And they can't know common people, and if they do, explain why. If women like me to a degree, or a magnitude, or a magnetism, if they like me to more than an average extent, I'll say that, then it's a war, because they're so precious to people. And men could hate me to the core. That's why I can't get a job. And women would fight endlessly about, I'm being conceited, I'm saying, it's the cards that have been dealt in this nothing field. It's like a paradox and an obscurity. Because women are not the Garden of Eden. Their vaginas aren't the Garden of Eden. But it got to that point where it was understood something biblical about women. And the Bible doesn't get naked, meaning that, like, it doesn't just get naked for you. Meaning like a woman does. That's why they're so tough to be around. Because for any man, they don't just get naked all the time and party with you. That's a falsehood. You find that out later. But on another note, what brings you here could be deities, bosses, lords like Christ, and Pharaoh could have gotten you here, and God could have. I could be a power of God. At the highest extent that I range to, it could be on a plateau of knowledge. I wouldn't have diversified, though, or sent myself to lower planes of knowledge. I could have been brought here by bosses, or any lord, or any earth power, or even Lucy's in a more humanoid form, which is possible. Then it's a vast answer of why anyone's here, which is why no one can understand it. A very vast answer. It goes beyond comprehension. But what I can ascertain so far is that it could have been brought here by what I said before. And then, or from heaven, or from the heavens. But that's all beyond understanding too. What I could say, though, primarily is I heard a song called The Gardens of Emma Watson and Etta Buchanan. And in that song at the end I said, There's the Garden of Eden, which what kills us all. And there's later the garden between women's legs. Yeah. And then I said, if all were beautiful, none would ascend to heaven and none would survive. And then I said something like, just utopias. Like strip clubs are like utopias. And I went to many of them when I was young. And I think like, all there is coffee and cigarettes and fine bare ass sometimes when you get older. That's how I ended it. But what I mean by that is like, women have a preciousness to them, and men do, but they're more common. Some men are less common. It goes a long way, and I mentioned Kundalini, how I thought she was a program, an opiate program of some sort that you take a pill for somehow, and you know, she emerges in your mind, but it could be a facet of the mind or a shadow of the mind, like Roger Penrose, a physicist, wrote in a book, Shadows of the Mind. It could be just your mind. It's scary. You don't know your mind. Deities don't really care. And then another point is, if like one woman likes me, say, her friend doesn't, but they both get fucked if they do. And a mask of will get fucked if they do. Which is another reason why I can't get a job. But who does that is Jesus or the lords or the gods or the bosses. But it's on automatic. They don't like intentionally care about any individual. It's just like it's not karma either. Karma, no, it doesn't fuck you for liking people or being nice. Karma works with you for that. It's almost like a impossible answer that you have to be very quick to figure out. I get fucked too because I can't ever get a job, and I know my position in this circumstance that I'm in. I don't think I existed at the time of Jesus or the time of Pharaoh at all. I may have been through a few incarnations so far, but what I think is at the time of Jesus, perhaps it's a speculation, but he said there are chicks about people that are famous now, let's say, and people that were famous then, were known then, and common country people, and what they mean, I'm just saying, I didn't really say that, but I'm supposing. What their chicks means is like we are sometimes chicks in like degrees of attraction. And also, we know chicks, and Pharaoh would have said they went that way. The only thing is, about common people, he would have said they went that way. Which means chicks went that way, and we did too. The thing is, we weren't around that time, and people around that time could have experienced something like that, who had a similar problem, perhaps. The thing is, it's all speculation, it's fiction. The thing is, I'm making sense with fiction and speculation. The whole thing looks like some kind of situation or an ordeal for me, and people might benefit from listening to this if you're in a situation of something like a paradox and a paradise paradox. But what I think happens a lot, well, it never changes for the individuals. It never changes the situation. It's not like a ditch, though. It's something that occurred with the individuals that does not help them at all. Sadness, but also not that sad because it makes you think more and understand a greater picture. The thing that I'm saying is like complicated and could be considered too much of an interpretation or something, but I don't think so. I think what I'm saying really has been a long thought. And I think like after the incarnations that I've existed in, and the stints in heaven that I've existed in, I come across an answer like this finally. I might have come across it before, but now it's very clear. Thank you.